and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Sunday, and you know what that means? It's time for weekly purchases, that time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, and of course, that KG outlaw to the north, Waylon Jennings. It is the weekly purchases once again. And a big week of weekly purchases. Just actually got back from our friends over there at jaystoysandgames.com. Picked up a bunch of stuff, so you'll see that in the back half of weekly purchases. And I guess no better time than now to thank our sponsor, jaystoysandgames.com. Use code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal over there at Jay's. They got a lot of stuff through the door. They had a stack of like 20 Chase Cody Rhodes from the latest Elite set over there in the pink suit. So I was like, man, where did you get all those? Like, yeah, we just got all pink suits for some reason. So wild times over there at Jay's. Got to thank them for sponsoring the channel. And Jay's, of course, being Thanksgiving weekend coming up here. We're on the edge of Thanksgiving, as we do know. We're going to have Black Friday sales, so they're going to have a heck of a sale, so be ready for that. Make sure you follow me on social media. I'll retweet some of that, post some of that stuff for them as well, so check that out if you have not already. So Jay's, got to thank them for sponsoring the channel. Also should plug the Patreon. We got the giveaway this month of November. It is Major Stars Series 1. That will go to one of the Patreon members, so check out the Patreon for more of that, plus early access to so many videos, so much content every single day over there. And best of all, as I always say, it is the best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel at YouTube memberships if you want to. Also got to plug the podcast, another week of the podcast. You can hear all about the class of 1984 this week, as I tell some childhood elementary stories, and tell me if your childhood was as crazy as mine was as far as elementaries go. Rough side of town, old West Side KP, just fighting for my life every single day. It was truly like the class of 1984, if you've ever seen that movie, but in elementary school is what it was. And I talk all about this foster kid that still gets me worked up to this day, how she had all the great treatment there. I think I even mentioned about the girl I sat by in 6th grade that one day decided she wanted to kill her grandma, and she did, and the teacher had to come and tell us about, hey, she's not going to be here anymore. So wild times in the podcast each and every week. And for those Patreon YouTube channel members, you do get early access to next week's episode, the Thanksgiving special, which we got to give thanks for a lot of things. And unfortunately, it's a bit of a downer episode, at least in the beginning, as we gotta tell it like it is, I guess, is what I had to do. So we'll see what happens. You guys can check that video out, but it's life or death around here, Todd McFarlane. We know how that goes. Is what it is. But check out the Kyle Peterson Show wherever podcasts are found and on YouTube, and early for Patreon YouTube channel members as well. Last week I did go see Zach Sabbath, Zach Wild's Black Sabbath cover band. Always good to see. Zach sometimes gets a little long-winded in the solos, and we get a lot of the playing and then the hands up in the air, and then some of this kind of stuff, the hands up in the air. When you got to do that every song, I don't know. But that's probably like the 15th time I've seen Zach Sabbath, so maybe I've seen it a little too much. I'm not exactly sure, but always good to go, especially when you get a ticket for $8. That makes it even a little bit better there. So shout out to Zach Sabbath. We'll see what my next concert might be. I don't know what it could be at this point. It was supposed to be Cheap Trick in a couple of weeks here. They canceled the show, removed it to January. Is what it is. I guess we'll be ready for that, and we'll be ready for Thanksgiving this week as well. So I'm excited for that. Got my Thanksgiving shirt on here. Every year somebody's offended by this. That's an offensive shirt. It's also known as satire in some circles, but it is from the band Mastodon. Everybody knows Mastodon, but one of their Halloween collection, Thanksgiving collection, Christmas collection of shirts once upon a time. So everybody always asks, what is that shirt? Where'd you get it? Mastodon's website like 15 years ago. So the more you know, folks, the more you know. But hopefully everybody that celebrates Thanksgiving has a good Thanksgiving week. We'll be back next week with weekly purchases, of course, and we'll see what Black Friday brings us. Should be a lot of sales going on left and right. That's usually what we see. And in all honesty, I've been seeing a ton of that already. tons of emails saying, Black Friday here now. What are you going to pick up? Save 20%. So long gamers, if you're after action figures, you know you're going to get some deals. We're seeing it at the Amazons of the world. I said Jay's going to have some sales. Ringside will have sales. DJC Collectibles, Entertainment Earth, all the friends on the channel, they're going to have some sales. So be ready. Get your list together. Maybe ask for some stuff from Santa, and maybe you'll get it if you're lucky. If you've been good, you got to check the list, of course. But speaking of lists, it's time to bring my wife in. It's time for the question of the week. All right, it's time for question of the week. And as usual, if you want to be the question of the week, put it in the comments down below or send it to TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. And Angie will read it over there. But it's time for the question of the week. And as usual, got to bring in the mail girl. Got to bring in Angie. Angie, say hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Angie. How have you been?
I'm glad to have you back. I missed you
That's
last.
right.
I missed you last time. I had to do a cartwheel. It was embarrassing.
She had to do a solo mailbag last week without me. So
The amount of times I filmed that 30 seconds is wild.
Oh my goodness. Well, unfortunately, I was locked away at a doctor's office or something like that. But Angie, more on that on the podcast this week. Sad, sad tales, of course. But
You're bandaged, all bandaged.
Angie, was good to have you there to cover for me last week, and good to have you here this week for the question of the week. And very fitting that the question of the week is more towards you this week here. So you better get your thinking hat on here, as you're going to have to be a little bit more wordsmithy than normal.
Oh,
there you go. And are you ready for Thanksgiving this week? Do you got your turkey thawed?
I'm not cooking a turkey.
Oh,
you know
well.
this.
Oh, okay. Well, I was hoping you'd maybe make one for around the house.
We just show up and eat at your parents'.
Oh, that's the way to go, I guess. Only got so many years left to do that. You never know when they'll say.
I'm going to bring some stuff in this year.
Oh boy, yeah, you never know.
Cranberry sauce.
You never know when my parents will just say we're done with Thanksgiving.
I know, I'm scared. I've been thinking about it.
It's probably coming soon. They're just going to say, yeah, we're not doing Thanksgiving anymore. We're just, having a pizza or frozen pizza at home, and there'll be no Thanksgiving anymore. Grandparents are all gone. It's just going to be...
We're going to have to call one of those places that does it all for you. It's like Cracker Barrel or...
Like Meals on Wheels and say, we're just a family that doesn't have Thanksgiving anymore. Could you
or
deliver?
The grocery store.
No, I don't want to be there, but it's coming sooner rather than later. I have a feeling, so we'll see.
I'm
but
definitely
Angie,
getting rid of that turkey.
Yeah,
I'm not a turkey person.
Yeah,
I'm making a ham, guys.
I guess we'll see. But hopefully everybody has a good Thanksgiving. We'll see. But here we are, Angie. It's time for the question of the week. And since the question's geared towards Angie, I'm going to read it here.
Oh, great.
It comes to us from Jess Kelly. Question of the week for Angie. Have you ever had someone make fun of Kyle for collecting? Come on, make fun of me? My wife used to do some work from home from a room that had my wrestling collection in it. Most of her coworkers thought it was cool to see all the toys behind her, but one time a person made not so nice comments in which she responded, "Hey, he could be spending all our money on drugs and alcohol, so I'll take the toys. Thanks for all the great videos." That sounds like your wife might have had an HR complaint ready to go, It's an inclusive culture in this day and age. But I do a lot of conference calls from my office in the background.
This guy sounds straight edge like you.
But there's a lot of days I have conference calls in the background. My collection's just in the background. And it's always a good icebreaker as far as business dealings and talks. And undoubtedly, is that the word? That eventually somebody will say, "Oh, yeah, I used to have that." And they'll talk about it. And next thing you know, you're closing deals is what you're doing there. So who knows? But Angie, has anybody ever made fun of me for collecting?
Not really.
No. Who would? Who would ever make fun of me? You're like, you see what that guy packs? I'm not just talking about it in his toy collection.
Most people think you're cool.
Yeah,
but cool. I do associate in my job more with men than women.
Yeah, you do, I'm sure.
I feel like if I was around girls, a lot more, maybe it would come up. But
maybe.
I have had people say, I'm surprised you like the clutter and the busyness of it doesn't bother you. Yeah. Because I grew up in a very hoarded house. Later on, more on that to come.
Oh, really?
But no, it doesn't bother me. And he keeps it very organized, except when he gets overwhelmed with packages.
Well, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I'm sure there's a lot of girls out there like, man, you got that man. You're just so lucky to have that good man, Kyle. I'm sure.
You are good.
I'm sure you hear that all the time. Feed my ego a little bit. I need it. Come on, play it up. Just make up a story. What are we doing here? But
I'd kill for your husband.
Oh yeah, that's exactly. But I don't know. What is somebody going to say? I mean, I don't know what's there to be said. I mean, but at the same time, your wife said he could be spending it on drugs and alcohol. Or Angie, I could be saying, hey, every weekend I'm going golfing 18 holes, or every single weekend like some guys do, or hey, I'm going out with the guys to the bars, or I'm going on vacation. Me and the buddies are going to the Chiefs game this weekend. I don't do any any of that kind of stuff. I sit there and I work my day job for 100 hours a week, and then I do this, and then I exhaust myself and I die on the couch each night, and I wonder, will I wake up? Will I wake up the next day? And
now because of YouTube, you actually have an excuse for all the chaos of it. You're like, it's my job.
Yeah, I gotta do this. This is my job. I got people that want to see 4 videos a day. Not really. Not really. Yeah, maybe.
We're breaking even.
That's good if that's the case. Let me see your books. Have you been keeping the books for Taxman around the corner here? Coming soon. So let's keep those books. But no, nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing too crazy.
No. Not that I can think of.
You haven't had to fight anybody or anything? No, not yet.
Just stay away from my man.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course, yes. Those old ladies love me, too, especially the hair. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. But no good stories there. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you expect from me?
Yeah, would most people ever come up to you and say, "Oh, what are we doing?" I think, they say Midwest nice. That's a thing here in the Midwest, and I think most people don't say things like that. I think around here, even if they're thinking it, I'm sure somebody out there is thinking it, but I'm sure there's people out there thinking a lot of things. If you know what I mean. So, is what it is. Like what you like, don't what you don't. That should be tattooed on my forehead. Maybe one of these days I'll get that done. Maybe. Who knows?
Potato's gonna hate.
So there it is, Angie. That's another question of the week, I think. Anything else spark your brain on that one?
Not really.
My brain's gone at this point. Yep. It's been a long week. So there it is. That is the question of the week. Hopefully everybody has a good Thanksgiving. But if you want to be the question of the week, once again, put it in the comments down below, and maybe you'll be lucky enough to be next week's
Could be you.
Question of the week. But Angie, now it's time for the weekly purchases. All right, time for round number 1 of weekly purchases. And round number 1, very wrestling heavy. Round number 2, a little bit of everything else. But a lot of stuff through the door the last couple of weeks. Have to imagine it's going to slow down a little bit in December. We'll see. If you're like me, you got Christmas presents to buy. So hopefully things slow down a little bit. So we'll see what happens as we finish off 2025. And I should mention, we've already started on the channel, but expect over the next month, especially in December, a lot of best of videos, top 5, top 10s of the best of everything and anything action figures as we get the winners from everything. McFarlane, Hasbro, Marvel Legends, WWE Mattel Elites, Ultimates, main events, etc., etc. We'll take the winners from all those, put it into one video, and find out what is the number 1 figure of 2025 from a guy that's unboxed almost all of it. So be on the lookout for those videos as we close out 2025. This week on the channel, we did top 5 WWE Mattel Build-A-Figures. We've also done, top 5? I think it was a top 5 Great Muta figures of 2025. We also did the top 5 issues with AEW Jazzwares WWE Mattel. So we already started some of those, but they'll be a little heavier as we finish out the end of the year. So check those videos out. But let's start off with round number 1. Round number 1 coming in from Ringside Collectibles. Right before I filmed weekly purchases, I actually finished unboxing these. So be on the lookout for them on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships early before traditional YouTube. But I did get the most controversial guy in wrestling, kinda, Andrade 122 through the door. How about Mr. Damian Priest? A call for the Priest, like a young Judas Priest right there. Stone Cold Steve Austin through the door this week. Io Sky, don't call her Io Shirai anymore. Io Sky. And then Brutus and Julius, the Creed brothers, one of my most wanteds from the Mattel line, finally in action here. Grabbed all these over at Ringside with code Kyle to save 10%. Check those out. Can't wait for later this week when Jesse Ventura finally arrives at my doorstep. It's going to be an all-timer. Stay tuned for that. Not done with Ringside. CM Punk top picks, and of course, Roman Reigns top picks, going back to Survivor Series. Pretty cool to see these ones. So we'll unbox those two together on the channel eventually. Also this week through the door, I did pick up 2 loose Big Van Vader figures here. 2 classic Vaders, $10 a piece is what I got these for. Couldn't beat that deal. Gonna give one to a special someone in my life, and then also another one I'm gonna keep as I'm gonna display different looks for that. So Vader, an all-timer, one of my absolute favorites. Couldn't pass up that deal here for Vader time around the house here. It's Vader time. We're ready to go. How about this one? Got to thank Chris Powell out there. He found one of these for me. Also, David Thanos found one of these for me. So crazy. These must be hitting again. But I will have one from David next week in weekly purchases. Got one from Chris this week. So I am finally good on the Jake the Snake Roberts Chase edition of the WWE Superstars. Happy to have that finally done. So there we go. How about a little CM Punk Mattel Creations? What, $27 on clearance? Are you kidding me? Picked up a second one of these. Got to get a deal, I guess. And then how about a little Ninja Turtle this week? NECA, April O'Neil, the 5th Turtle, the Pete Best, maybe? The George Martin, the Billy Preston of the Turtles. Whatever you want to say. We got the 5th Turtle there. And then I did succumb. I did pick up this one. I guess I'll get the other 3 as well. You can't just get one without the other. But I did get Mikey from the brand new NECA Turtles line through the door this week. So there it is. That's round number 1. Bring on round number 2 of the weekly purchases. All right, time for the second and final round, and a lot of stuff. As I said, I just went to Jay's before this video. I got a lot of stuff from Jay's Toys and Games, so a ton of Hasbro stuff. If you're looking for Hasbro, should be up on their website soon, if not already. But we're going to start it off with the brand new Build-A-Figure wave. We're going to build that Executioner. We got the Dark Avengers Spider-Man through the door. How about a Werewolf by Night, a hairy bipedal creature alert? You know I'm here for that. Wolverine World War II Logan could fit in pretty good with the G.I. Joe Classified Series figures. Got that one through the door. How about Warbow? I believe goes with Crystar, if I'm not mistaken. Warbow through the door this week. The Enchantress. Of course, we had this one years ago. Was it a Walgreens exclusive? I can't even remember. I guess maybe not. But we got a new Enchantress. And last but certainly least, Iron Man Mark 72. Yes, 72. Through the door this week. And we're not done with Marvel Legends. A little Secret Wars, a little Bobby, a little Iceman. So the Iceman rolls again. You can put him with your Avengers, put him with your Secret Wars, put him with your Spider-Man, put him with your X-Men, put him with your X-Factor. Choose your own Iceman adventure. Put him with your Top Gun figures if you need to. How about that? We got that through the door. And I almost forgot this one too, the Phantom Rider. No horse included, though, unfortunately. We got the Phantom Rider through the door, so a lot of Hasbro. And there's more Hasbro, as I did pick these ones up. The G.I. Joe green shirt, the G.I. Joe Trooper. You know I had to pick up 2 of these to display both looks. Always great to get a new Joe in the collection. And also played a little of that clearance game over at Amazon. Got 2 more Snow Serpents. I think they were $15 a piece. Gonna need these when the Snow Cat comes. So I got 2 more Snow Serpents this week. Also found out there in the wild at Walmart, Max Schreck Red Platinum Edition from McFarlane Toys. Completing the Batman Returns line. Check out the Batman Return unboxings over on Kyle Peterson 2.0. A lot of content each and every day over there. And last but certainly not least, we're going to rock and roll all night and party every day like a young Kiss here with the Ben Cooper Kids Kiss set available over there at Jay's Toys and Games once again. The Catman, the Star Child, the Spaceman, and of course the Demon, all 4 members of Kiss through the door. You know I'm here for that. We'll unbox those as well on the channel, but that is it. That is the weekly purchases. Quite the pickups this week. Be on the lookout for these unboxings on Patreon very soon. YouTube after that. You guys know how we do by now. But what did you pick up this week? What did you find out there in the wild? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it brings. You can also check out YouTube channel memberships. SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which conveniently enough is the name of my podcast with my wife Angie each and every week. It is The Kyle Peterson Show, available wherever podcasts are found each and every single Tuesday with video cast on YouTube. And check out my books while we're plugging. ECW, The Complete Guide to the Original San Francisco Toy Makers, and The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstar Series, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So for another week of weekly purchases, you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into a Thanksgiving week.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?